of a TV show like Theo Von and Brian Callen and Joe Rogan, if they had a show like SNL, that'd be pretty badass.
I want to talk about this story. We actually overlooked it. It's from a week ago, but it's about something we talked about, and I think we just never it never fit into the schedule. The Boys star Erin Moriarty quits Instagram after Megyn Kelly's plastic surgery claims. Okay, first, it wasn't Megyn Kelly's claims. Megyn Kelly was picking up on a meme that everybody else was talking about. And it's actually got its own Know Your Meme page. But the meme was someone posted this picture of Erin Moriarty. She's an actress. She's on the show The Boys. And they said, women need to stop getting plastic surgery. And they showed this image of Erin Moriarty. She absolutely looks like she got tons of plastic. Yeah, I got to be honest. Do you guys remember when The Weeknd did that bit where he put the bandages on his face? Or was he like the Grammys or something? And then when Save Your Tears music video came out, his face was all goofy looking. And everybody thought he got plastic surgery, but it was just a joke. Like, her face looks like that. I'm not trying to be mean, but it looks like, yo, what did you do? Here's the crazy thing. She I don't think she explicitly said, I never got plastic surgery. She said it was like, it was false. Don't say that. Actually, oh yeah, we have the Know Your Meme page where they talk about it. I wonder if they have, I think they'll have the original viral photo. It was this one right here. Royce Lopez said, women need to stop plastic surgery until we figure out what's wrong. Why would you ruin your face like this? Wow. This is Erin Moriarty from The Boys. She was already very pretty. What she responded with, because this is where it started. She went after Megyn Kelly. I guess Megyn Kelly had the platform that she thought to target, but a lot of big shows, a lot of following, we're talking about it. And she was like, that photo's from when I was like underage and I'm very young. And this photo is like new. And she's like, they're all false, but she clearly looks very different. She claimed it was just like makeup, but everyone's kind of going after her over it. Because there's a photo here, and I think this one's more recent. Here's what matters. She ends up deleting her entire Instagram. And I don't know if she got plastic surgery or not. It certainly looks like she does. And many people are saying, yo, you did. Here's what matters, though. Yo, she thought she looked good. She thought this, like, right here. Can we pull that up? She thought that looked good. And so the question is, what is happening with social media? That there are women who are like, I want to look like this. And then, I guess inversely, or subsequently, you get such a backlash to people saying you look gross that she deleted her Instagram outright. She didn't delete, like she deleted all the photos and then put up a thing being like, screw you, Megyn Kelly. I kind of feel like, I don't want to be dick to her, 'cause I don't know her or anything like that. But we've got this filter crisis and this Instagram image crisis for young women. But this is actually, as bad as it is, a promising sign moving forward that these filters and the surgery is resulting in a negative backlash. And they're starting to realize, like, don't do this to yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like lobotomies. They
had
to go.
I don't know if it's a lobotomy.
I'm not saying it's like a lobotomy, but they went through
really,
the phase
really
of
thin eyebrows that were really popular in the 90s. No, don't do that.
They had to learn how horrible the lobotomy was to stop doing it to themselves, is what I was saying. Same with plastic surgery.
I am so adamantly opposed to whether it's plastic surgery, fillers, even Botox to some extent, because I think young women are being told, we were talking about this before the show, I think it's some sort of derivation of refinement culture, in the sense that you think just because your lips are bigger or whatever you get done, if your eyebrows microbladed or whatever, like you will look better. But it's not. I think once you enter that realm, it's like that picture. Frankly, to me, again, no disrespect, but she looks like an alien. Like, she doesn't look human, whether it's the buccal fat removal or whatever she's doing. And I think you're very correct in terms of like the psychological harm to young women with the filters, and you see stuff online and you're like, what? I don't look like that. And there's that side of the issue. But I also think too that you have been seeing, although you guys probably don't because you're not young women, but maybe you share the same sentiment. Like, they are really, really, really pushing Botox and fillers at a much younger age now. Like, I always talk about my mom with this, like, it seems like now the age that they're trying to prime you to say that Botox, you need to get it, is like 22, 23, where it used to be in your, like, that's the new thing.
Like Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, because of that. And I think in some ways the critique of that is like the big pharma, right? Like this big beauty, right? Wants people to be buying into the system.
I figured it out.
And because you have to maintain it.
I know what's going on. It's intentionally being done by these big tech companies to convince women to start looking more and more plastic and fake, so that way when the androids start integrating in society, no one will know the difference.
No, I honestly thought for a while it was because it's trying to make everyone's face look more the same. Because if you get surgery, like I think I referenced this tweet once, but there were some girls like, I asked my surgeon if the Botox I got in my face is going to make me, how many years it's going to take off me. And he's like, no, you'll just look the same as everyone else who's Botox who's your age. Right. And these things can tend to come in trends, right? So like right now they were all getting the fat taken out of their mouths, which makes the cheekbones more prominent. Or, maybe they'll all want eyebrow lifts, so they're all do their like some of it is makeup, something, do the same way. But then when you're doing this face technology, it's because all of the faces are averaging out to be the same thing, but not in a good way.
So I love this this trope about like old people pulling their pants up really high. We used to have this in like the 90s. The TV shows would always make fun of old people. There was one where like, I can't remember what cartoon it is, but it's like the character gets turned into an old man, and as soon as he does, his pants go straight up to his armpits. That's not because old people do it. It's because a generation did it. And so the younger generation did not do it. The idea that it was because you were old was just because people saw old people doing it all the time. Right now, we don't have a generation of elderly plastic surgeryed up, tattooed plastic people. It is going to be wild when we do. Could you imagine in like 40 years what these people are going to look like?
What the buccal fat that you're taking out is going
to
do. I can
man.
Well,
Jeez.
I was being serious with Kylie Jenner.
They're like, their cheeks are going to rot open. Like there's nothing in there anymore.
And I mean, this girl, Erin Moriarty, did say, when I was younger, my face looked slightly different. That's fair. Everyone's face changes a little bit as they age, but all of the women who get Botox or anything else, that stuff has to be maintained or it shifts. I mean, you see this over and over again with celebrities who have had bad work done or just work done really early. They have to continue to go under the knife or get under the needle, I guess, to get it maintained, which means, to your point, they're always paying for it. They are consistently a customer, let alone the fact that like some of the augmentations that you can get done can cause you, different issues. Your body can reject, breast implants or whatever. They're making it so you are medically dependent for a long time because you're always trying to look younger, and the fads that change the fads always change, so you're constantly trying to adjust your face to fit in with the youngest generation.
I think it's the irony, or I guess paradox of feminism, because I'm sure they say, oh, I can do whatever I want with my face. I wear makeup for myself, right? I'm getting my buccal fat removed for myself.
Sure.
But it's not. You're seeking validation from other people, but the prime beneficiary and people who profit off of that usually would be slamming big pharma, but it's the big beauty industry. And I don't know if you saw that trend about like the young girls who are like 8 years old going into Sephora. That's crazy that 8-year-olds are wearing so much makeup. And I have to say, this is a hot take. I am so anti-plastic surgery. Having grown up in Los Angeles, I have seen so many young girls to the point where I'm like, I don't even think it's legal to operate on you. Get work done, where it's like, you don't need it. You're the most beautiful you'll ever be. You're perfect. But I think it's sort of like transgender inspired. I know that's a weird thing to say, but I think if you look at some of the surgeries and the stuff that they're getting done, it is the same thing.
It's to make masculine and feminist faces look more similar.
It's the same stuff that male to female transgender people get. And
oh, wow.
Yeah. It's like if you make it so all the women's faces look the same and they look actually like they have some masculine tendencies, you're normalizing people who are like, well, I'm actually going to live this way. It
makes femininity easier to achieve when the concept of being a feminine woman is like, the bimbo look of huge lips, huge brows, big cheeks, because then guys can
fake
do that
eyelashes,
too, right?
all of this stuff.
Yeah.
The other part is that women, just like people come out and say, I regret, genital alteration surgeries, there are people who come out and say, I regret having this worked into my face. This was Bella Hadid somewhat recently, who said, I had this nose job, I think when she was like 16, pretty young. And she said, the nose that I had was reflective of my culture and ancestry, and I wish that I hadn't have changed it. I mean, the things that women are doing to feel like they are achieving the Instagram level of beauty is so disconnected from reality that if they unplug from it, I think that they wouldn't hate themselves so much.
I mean, it looks like she got lip fillers, doesn't it?
She got lip fillers because it looks like the shape of her lip changed.
She got her brows, I think microbladed, done.
Nose job.
Yeah, definitely nose job.
I do think, a lot of women,
and
their faces like lose fat.
Yeah,
but it's too dramatic.
Filler is a huge thing.
She said all these videos are false, but never explicitly said I never got surgery. And so a lot of people responded being like, stop lying.
Fake
but there are like videos from plastic surgeons being like, dude, she didn't get surgery. It's like she was saying that she got her contours done or whatever. What is that, like makeup?
Yeah, like she has something emphasizing her cheekbones.
That is true. You can see it on her face.
But I think it's enough where I would think that she has some kind of implant or something.
She used to not have a jawline before. Now she has a jaw.
Yeah, she had a much more round face. And it's not enough to be like, oh, well, I just grew up, I lost the baby fat. Like it's more
And
dramatic
that's
than
fake
that.
hair too.
I would also argue
But
that
it
like
is-
she looks like she's had a brow lift because like the hooding on her eyes seems different to me in a way that's not just like, oh, I got older, my face changed. Like it's too dramatic.
It's wild that she took this photo of herself and she was like, I look good. And then she
She looks
posted
like
it.
an alien.
But everyone around her told her she looked good. The woman who
Yeah.
did her makeup, the woman who did her hair, they're like,
The woman she paid to do her makeup.
right. And who get exposure if she's they're tagged in her Instagram post. And other
Well,
girls
that
are
didn't
like,
work.
well, how do I look like her?
They got exposure.
Who's going to hire this makeup artist now?
There's three
Oh,
things.
transgender people.
Three things that are make women attractive to men. I was told lately is symmetry, the hip to waist ratio, and the illusion of health. So it's not necessarily that they're healthy; it's that they seem healthy to
Yeah.
the man.
And if they're watching the Tucker Putin interview.
Well, that's the hottest. That goes without.
You're at a bar and she's on her phone and you look over and she's watching Tucker Carlson interview Vladimir Putin. You're like,
Or
"Ooh."
she's watching Tim Cat.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Perhaps,
talking about. So they're going for symmetry with this plastic surgery. They want to, but it does not seem healthy. That's the problem with plastic surgery is it doesn't give off the illusion of health. It gives off the illusion of I've got
Injury.
botulism in my face or I've got I've got some weird chemicals
Damage.
under my
It's so
skin.
risky.
I saw this. There's a really funny meme, and it's like woman, and she's looking at a shampoo bottle, and it says shampoo for dry and damaged hair, and then it's like man, and it's like 6-in-1 men's hair, armpit, knees, skin, cloth, carpet, engine cleaner. It's like that's about right.
Yeah.
I go to the hotels, and it's like shampoo and body wash, and I'm like, what?
You're like, okay.
I just hate
guess.
when these people
I'm pretty
lie
sure it's the same thing. I think they're lying to everybody.
and they say like, I'm doing it for myself. It's empowering to me. It's like, just cut the crap. And then I'm sure like these
Women
the
are doing
same-
it for other women.
Of course. I do think there is an interesting.
She's not complaining about the guys who said it. She's complaining about Megyn Kelly.
But like I feel like women perceive when women think what is attractive, they're looking at it from a very female perspective. In other words, like what girls consider attractive is different from guys. And I think in some ways, I don't think that is attractive at all. But like what women have been told is attractive coming from, I guess, big beauty. I don't know what the right term would be, but is that look like that is that is an on trend look?
It's on
which
trend.
is
I think that's the perfect way to put it,
concerning,
which is
but
like
yeah.
women are looking to see if you're on trend, if you're doing the current things, right? Whereas men,
Where men
because
are
a lot
like,
of it
yeah.
is biological, the things that they find attractive or desirable kind of stay the same.
Yeah.
But beauty industry standards and trends change all the time. So women are looking to see if you are like fashionable, whereas men are looking to see if you're attractive. And do whatever you want to do. If you want to look attractive for men, if you want to look trendy for women, it doesn't matter to me. You just have to acknowledge. I think this is the problem with, she got upset with Megyn Kelly because women are not supposed to attack or be mean to other women. But I think true friendship would be able to say like, hey, I don't think that's the best look for you. I don't know that you need to go get all of these fillers. I think you're okay the way you are.
And she's
Well,
doing
maybe
more harm.
women friendship, man friendship would be like, oh, what did you do to your face, bro?
But she's
Get
doing
that
more,
off.
She's doing more harm to young women by passing that off as natural and acting like people have noses like that and your brows could be that full and your hair could look like that and you're like, or that growing up 3 to 4 years, you're going to look that different. That is a much more harmful narrative than women pointing out, hey, you made some really dumb decisions. You messed up again, we weren't saying she was ugly to begin with. I think the real tragedy in the story is that she was a very beautiful girl.
Yeah, but her
And-
argument is she didn't get surgery. You're just calling her old.
What's wrong with being old? Like this is
No.
the thing that,
This
like,
is the point. She said
But that's
she
not
did
how
not.
people age.
She did not get surgery. She got makeup done. And everyone's posting a picture of her when she was young saying she was beautiful, and then a picture of when she's old saying she's ugly. Like, it's not just this one photo. It's there's where do they have it? This photo here on the left. Here we go. This one. Wheels on a shopping cart be like, and it's her when she's like 17 and then her when she's like 30. And this is what she's saying. She's like, I didn't get surgery. You're just posting pictures of me now being like, you're ugly. So it's like she got old and now they're calling her ugly.
Oh wow! I wonder if she has an eating disorder and it's just a lot of makeup.
I mean,
Is that possible?
her cheeks are sunken in right here, and it makes her cheekbones stick out much more than when she was like younger or whatever.
She has a very round face. I also feel like that buckle fat look, first of all, it's like so on trend with all of that
Right.
Hollywood crowd. And that's just not a very natural like physiognomy thing, I think, for a pretty round face American person to have. Maybe if you're like Native American and you have super high cheekbones, or if you're like Eastern European or something. But I don't buy it.
What about makeup? You guys think? Like, because I've always found it's
Gross.
like, yeah, I think it's unnecessary. I feel like it clouds the woman. Like it kind of.
I agree 1000%. And I think part of the critique is that a lot of the times, I really don't think you look better. Like I said, I think it is refinement culture to some extent. Like, yeah, your lips will be a different shade, but different isn't always better. And I think too, a lot of these, this is what I've sort of learned, the toxic chemicals and the endocrine disruptors and all the phthalates and all these products aside, like, it really is just an industry that preys on the vulnerabilities and insecurities of women. And that's why I think the real irony in how you see it really be weaponized, that prevailing narrative, right, that women do makeup for themselves, which is BS. It's not true. But the corporations need that narrative because that helps their bottom line.
I think
right?
that's why they blended. Right now, the big movement is to have it be like skincare makeup, right? Like all of the things that you can have are actually skincare. And so it's not makeup and whatever else. When actually women have worn makeup for hundreds of years. Like if you want to, that's fine. But I don't think that you're ever going to be able to wear enough makeup to fundamentally change your face. If your face is fundamentally changed, you have probably turned to some kind of intervention.
think it's
Remember when
Trend
Jordan
inspired.
Peterson talked about why women wear makeup?
Yeah, it's to enhance. It's to make the woman look like she's fertile. Like the
Ovulating.
lips. Yeah, the lips puff out. They become more red. Blood rushes to
Blood-
the lips, so they're
yeah, and the
simulating
cheeks.
that.
Yep.
I think it's transhumanist. I think a lot of this stuff is part of a
Makeup.
transhumanist
It all
movement.
started several thousand years ago when women were rubbing berries on their lips.
For sure.
That was the beginning of
But
transhumanism.
there really is a difference, though, and not to get too in the weeds with makeup. You guys don't strike me as the makeup tutorial type, but like, there's a difference between, I think, putting on like darker lipstick and like lining your lips and mascara. That is like enhancing your natural beauty. But what you really saw with the Kardashians and the shift in this was this concept of contouring, which is literally adding different shades and hollowing out parts of your face to change, not enhance, but to entirely change your face. And when you see those crazy YouTube tutorials of like the different shades of colors, the shades of brown around the eyes, again, I'm wearing makeup. I'm happy to admit
But there's some that
there's
say
a
like,
difference.
I remember there's a tutorial and it's like how to look like you had a nose job without actually getting a nose job. And it's like her really intensely using all kinds of shades to change her nose. And at a certain point you want to be like, what are you going to do when you have to take that off?
But
Like,
There's the
I
eye
didn't do
thing
anything.
too.
Yeah.
Where the women have like they put white slightly around their eye to make their eyes look bigger.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Is this all like the Kardashians? Was that late 90s, early 2000s?
2000s.
Because
Yeah,
that's
that
when
is
things started to change. In the 80s, it was way too much makeup, big hairspray. Then in the 90s, it's people started to get more real. Like women
they'll-
started to look normal.
they'll always
and
go
then it
through
shifted.
trends.
It like
But
exploded in the
I really
early
think
2000s.
that the like trans community, I'm not saying it's like the individual trans people, but whatever the agenda, like those nefarious forces, I think they loved the commodification of womanhood and femininity as, orange foundation with really hollowed out
that's drag.
cheekbones. But I'm saying what you're seeing in the way women's makeup is going, I think it is going like a drag route in some
Yeah,
ways, right?
absolutely.
Well, and the
Yeah.
rise of the Kardashians, to me, it coincides with the rise of male YouTube makeup artists getting really popular, who would do these really strong contours, who would have these really block brows. And that look is somewhere between the Kardashians and drag, and it sort of stayed that way and
Well,
became trendy among young girls.